was just thinking over over the weekend. I was thinking as I'm doing my work around the house, setting up for the winter and making it nice and comfy and nice and warm in here. And I'm thinking about. I keep thinking about currencies and cash and so forth. And the thought just keeps coming into my head. It's like I don't know. It's something, an energy, intuition, something like I don't know what it is, but I just keep thinking about the possibilities. Um, Bitcoin has become a pretty much what can I say, mainstream asset that people uh, keep recognizing on a daily basis like never before. And I keep thinking about the governments for instance that print money. Um, what if governments all of a sudden start uh, printing a lot of money and buying up Bitcoin reserves? Uh, Perhaps not just Bitcoin, but the other altcoins too. Uh, Primarily Bitcoin, because that seems to be the thing that can probably save some of these countries from their worthless coins. Um, it may be like a tornado that just comes into and just sweeps everything. Um, Bitcoin and the altcoins are resilient. Luna's still around, even though people say quote unquote it crashed. It never really crashed. It went down in price quite a bit. Luna and the stable coins, they're still around. Uh, they're not worth as much. They're not equal a dollar, but they're equal to, I think it's like, I don't know, like a tenth of a cent or something at the moment. I haven't checked in a few months, but they're still there. They're in the blockchains are still running. They have a life of their own. Um, Bitcoin, the blockchain has been running for, even though it's not really the original. The original is Bitcoin Cash, and there were a lot of forks from Bitcoin into. They came to make coins like Monero, Dash, and several other. The older coins are based on Bitcoin, on the blockchain. The other blockchain is Ethereum. Um, Even though you can trade between Bitcoin and Ethereum has its own, I don't know, what can I say, ecosystem? It's sort of like Solana, Cardano. It has its own tokens. You can mint your own tokens under their blockchains, under those individual blockchains. But what I'm saying is, when one government, hey, gets the idea, if we print a lot of cash, and I was just thinking, how can it be switched over faster? Well, governments are going to come around and think and say to them, the thought is going to be that we have to move into this, or else we're not going to have a government. And that would be nice not to have a government, except common rules and so forth, and a little discipline along the way of common law. Once the governments are recognized that we have to have cryptocurrency, and if they decide all of a sudden to print I don't know, $1 trillion and, well, I don't know, that much. Uh, $10 billion or $1 billion at a time. Print $1 billion or $10 billion and buy Bitcoin with that. $100 billion buy Bitcoin, and now they have something. They have something stable. Governments are going to recognize that. It's like we better we better be good in order to maintain a certain amount of cash so we can sustain the beasts. Governments are beasts. Okay. If you're going into Bible, if you ever hear about the beast, it's not a man, it's governments. We create these beasts, and then our children have to live with the problems that we create in the past generation. It's always been like that. Always will be until the world ends somehow. Um, um, the the storm that's probably, and when it hits, it's going to hit fast because nobody wants to be left behind. If one government announces that they're buying up, 100 billion in Bitcoin, everybody's going to notice, and everybody's going to say, "Hey, we can do the same, and we better get our butts printing more money in order to buy more Bitcoin." Imagine to the rush to buy into cryptocurrency. From what I understand, the miners are not selling as much as because they want to keep, because it's probably worth keeping. That's how big, that's how the whole system worked. What can I say? Ecosystem. It's one of those buzzwords. That's how the system worked. Okay, that's how the whole system worked, by mining and selling the coins that you mine, and that's how currency got around, basically. The miners, if they don't sell their cryptocurrency because they know there's going to be a humongous rush into buying cryptocurrency, if all of a sudden they stop mining or refrain from selling as much, that's going to create a vacuum, and it's going to create demand, supply and demand. Okay, time was when people would. I think the first bitcoins that they minted, they went out for dinner or something, or for lunch. I don't know what they bought, but they went out for lunch, and it cost them like, how was that? I think they said something like 40,000 bitcoins to pay for the lunch. Imagine that, guys. And that was, the original developers that put this thing to spin. The ones that gave it life. Imagine the vacuum that there's going to be. It's like the toilet paper that through 5 years ago with this BS stuff that they put out to destroy people, and that's another thing. But it creates a vacuum because everybody's buying the toilet paper. It creates a demand. It creates a vacuum in the supply, and it just brings the prices up like crazy. And imagine that to something that's almost like etheric gold. The vacuum that's going to be created because of the demand and no supply. It's going to be a big vacuum, just driving the price up this way. Not just this way, but just exponentially, probably overnight. And we've seen these crazy prices, you know, like the last bull run. I mean, it's like I'm looking at my account and my cell phone, and it's like every day it's going up 5, 10, 20,000, 50,000. I think one time it was 75,000 that it went up in one day. It's like, imagine this being in the billions, and there was like, you know, just a million. This in the billions, trillions, perhaps. Yeah, like I say, there's cash in the world, and there's a demand for a good 430 trillion dollars that governments are not probably not going to be printing anymore. Um, I just wanted to mention that, hold on to your assets, and I mean, when it comes time to sell if you need to, and of course, no advice here. It's just entertainment. I'm just a guy in a room with a computer. You know what I do in the side of the room. I don't. I'm only kidding. Um, uh, a big vacuum coming. I mean, there's a big storm that's gonna come, and then that's what I keep thinking. You know, it's like, my gosh,